Next we're gonna be Ricky Valley, O'Donnell.
Take the garbage out.
And now you got to take it out on Friday instead of Monday.
Oh.
We love it. Oh, we're just teasing with you. Mine does that all the time.
Reminded everybody, take the trash out.
All right. Oh my goodness, turn this thing down. You turned it up too loud. All right, thank you. All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. This is a emergency special meeting of the Williston City Council, Thursday, June the 17th at 6 p.m. And we will ask Ms. Wright to call the roll, please.
Mayor Robinson.
Here.
President Jones.
Here.
Vice President Robinson. Here. Councilmember Potts.
Here.
Councilmember Hines. Here. Councilmember Ross.
Here.
City Manager.
Council tonight, lead, guide, and direct them in the decisions that need to be made tonight. For in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're here for new business, that is old business. And let me just say right off the beginning, we have lost our fireworks. We asked you for an extra $1,000 for a total of $9,500 for Skylighters of Florida. On Sunday, following that meeting, an email was sent to Letitia, which she received on Monday morning, which was the 14th, saying that they had just heard from their Chinese importer that their container on their container ship full of our fireworks and every other fireworks that they had ordered for all their shows was stuck in the middle of somewhere. And that what was due to be here the middle of June was not going to arrive to the middle of July, which obviously won't do us any good. And of course, we know it's due to the shortage of containers, the containers themselves, due to the shipping, shortage of shipping, as well as the increase of fireworks by 30%. So he also told Latricia in that email that he was returning our deposit and that he was canceling our show. We then proceeded to a lot of other cities that we knew he did and checked to make sure he canceled them as well, and he has. So then we tried to figure out what we could do from there. We went back to a second vendor that we had talked to previously. I think we told you about them as well, and the fact that they wanted a little over $15,000 to do the same show. He told us at that time that he had the fireworks in hand, so we told him to send us a contract. Before we even got out the door, he called again to say he did not have the fireworks, so he could not help us. That was on Tuesday. 1 minute we were sitting in her office and we had it if you approved the money. And we had I forgot to tell you too, we also had an anonymous donor who was going to pay the difference in the cost between the $9,500 and the $15,000 that the second company would pay. We had one donor who said that they would pay that, who wanted to remain anonymous. We then called him back and said, send us a contract, we've got the money covered, and then we were going to ask you about it before we signed it, obviously. Well, before we even got out of the building, we came over here and started talking about something, and it was Latricia and Jackie, I think you were with us too. Oh, it was a CRA meeting. We attended a CRA meeting, that's why we were still here. And we received notice before we even left that meeting that they could not get the fireworks, even though they told us they could. So we started looking right then, all over online. We found some other fireworks vendors. We also found like a laser light show. We requested a quote from them. We talked about a gentleman we knew that former Sheriff Glass told me about that sold fireworks up here on the corner for Black Cat? He's actually from Bronson, So I gave him a call to see if he had any insight that he could get some fireworks for us. He said he would see what he could do. That was 2 days ago. I haven't heard back from him. In the meantime, we got a contract from a company by the name of LaserNet. And I'm gonna give this to you, but I don't wanna scare you to death when I do. Let me keep one. The original contract that they sent us, let me just tell you, was $24,000. They are a company that does, Latricia, I don't know if you've had that slide you had earlier. They do laser light shows on cruise ships for the Miami Dolphins, for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're very well known. They've been in business like over 50 years in the Miami area. And they always end their show in a low-level, 300-foot range fireworks show. That's kind of why they came up on our search when we were looking for them. So we, like I said, we got the first contract from them that was $24,535. So Jackie and Latricia and I called the man on a conference call. All three of us talked to him at the same time. We told him who we were, what we had. For example, we had a band, a sound system, and a stage that he did not need to provide. So those things, some of those things could come off of his original bid. We told him to give us his very best proposal that he could give us and to send us a contract in time for this meeting tonight. We got this contract tonight. What it amounts to, I kind of wrote a synopsis. It amounts to 4 lasers that are mounted on a 10-foot high pedestal, because that's required by FDA to be over the heads of the audiences. Here's some of the pictures, if you'll go back. There goes some of the pictures. There's also and I don't see it there, but I did see it earlier, there is a large dome. It's like a screen. It's 4 stories high and 30 feet across that you get first thing on their music track for 4th of July, the fireworks. They're normally way higher than 300 feet. They are licensed. They have $2 million. It's the difference between the original $9,500 that you gave us and the $12,785 that is this contract. That donation of $4,000 includes, you see in that contract, it talks about hotels and a per diem for food for the technicians, because they come the day before. That $4,000 donation includes money for that. Because we really, I think, only needed $3,000, and we asked for an extra $1,000 that would take care of that. And then we went back to our anonymous donor to ask if he was okay with the laser light show ending in pyrotechnics, and he said yes. So I can tell you, this is the best I can do, the best we can do as a team. We've done the best we can do. I will tell you, we had more vendors come in today. Everybody wants to be there.
So we will have to,
And
everyone will have to be at Horseman's Park in order to observe.
You could probably, they're going to do a rehearsal, I think, the night before, just with some of the lasers, so you could probably tell real easy whether you can see them
Gotcha.
far enough away or whether you need to come. You can see a list of the people here that they are used to working with or have done shows with. Let me see if the picture of the screen, oh here, this big thing you see right here is the four-story high, 30-foot in diameter screen. And that's where they would show, that the lasers don't go there, but there's the graphics go there, any kind of graphics you want for your sponsors. And anybody we had a logo for that was our sponsor, we could flash up there. And you can see some of the graphics there on the left-hand side of that same section.
Now, the pyrotechnics you refer to, are those fireworks?
They are fireworks.
Light them off and they blow up?
They do. They're lower ground level than what we're used to.
Yeah.
And they are, because they're 300 feet and not way up there like we're used to at 500 or 600 feet.
Yeah.
So they're not as big a fireworks. but he promised me it would be a good finale. Best I could do. It's either this or nothing. So, unique. It's definitely unique. I think we could bill it as unique, as something different.
Definitely nobody's had something like this in this area before.
Right.
I like it.
So what's
I like
the
it.
cost final?
The final cost for the city was either $9,500.
What we budgeted.
Well, we budgeted 85,
8,500.
and then we gave an extra 1,000. Rather than ask our anonymous donor for 5,000, we asked him for 4, which would be our 9,500 and his 4,000.
So ours is 9,500.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're not over budget.
Okay. Okay.
And we just felt like we couldn't invite our vendors to come to the park and set up their wares and expect people to come with no fireworks.
See, if we were not gonna have fireworks, I was gonna suggest us having the vendors here at Heritage Park, like we do for the Christmas parade and light up Williston, everything's here,
Excellent idea.
they go home, you know, because there's no fireworks.
Right.
But,
Excuse me, how's the parade going? Good?
I'm getting more and more vendors.
More and more?
I haven't turned anyone down. I still been getting applications. I got one today.
Good. Well, I think if we start doing something like this, if y'all agree to this or whatever, and advertise this as a laser and pyrotechnic show or whatnot, I think that would gain some momentum as far as interest and around the area too, and bring some crowds in.
Right.
How long is our normal fireworks show?
25 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
30 minutes tops.
I would say 15 to 20. It's a long time looking up. I mean, it seems like longer.
And what about this?
It does.
This one is I think 15 minutes.
That includes the fireworks?
You know, the little fireworks, the fireworks don't last very long. They're like a minute afterwards.
I'm trying to,
But it's all in here somewhere.
the pyrotechnic finale is 30 seconds.
And it's just a barrage, a big barrage at the finale.
What time does the parade start?
5 o'clock.
5.
And the gates open at the park at 7. And we would do this at 9.
No.
Yeah, they got good start.
And what about the lasers? How far do those shoot for their display? Because I'm thinking, you know, we get people that park the high school
We do.
all back this way.
I'm not really sure. They may not be able to park here and see it. And like I said, if they do the rehearsal on July 2nd, like they say, it says possible rehearsal on July 2nd. If we may want them to do at least something on July 2nd so that the people can gauge whether they can see it or not, so they can plan accordingly.
A pre-show.
Right.
They do, it's 10 to 15 minutes of choreographed animated graphics.
Right. And think about it, that's a long time to sit there and listen, to look up.
And what time would that start, the pre-show?
Well, the laser show itself would start a little after 9. When it gets good and dark. Because if you look, it's not really dark until right at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Not dark enough to be truly dark. The only time we've ever done it before 9 o'clock is when we knew the rain was approaching. And we shot them 15, 20 minutes early just to get people back to their cars before it deluged.
Well, right now, this seems to be the only option that we have if we're gonna have any type of fireworks or any type of show out there.
Between the three of us, this is all we could find. And I think it's a good option. I think it's something new, and we don't know unless we try it.
I agree, I mean.
I agree. Mr. Fuller?
Do the vendors pay for their spaces?
They do. It's a very minimal space because it's a very short period of time.
Okay.
I think it's $75, if I remember right, for a vendor space.
And where does that
And
money
that's a
go?
food vendor.
Where does that money go?
It's back to the city budget. Probably, I don't think it goes in special events, I'm not really sure. Mr. Witt?
They dropped their price to 13.8.
12, let me see, 12,785.
I guarantee you, you're the only one with anything at all in this region, it's just nothing.
Right.
Is Cedar Key still having theirs?
I don't know. And if so, they normally do it on the fourth.
They do, but I was just wondering if, I haven't heard they.
I haven't either, whether they've got any fireworks or not.
Yeah.
The only reason Archer and Bronson have some is because it's Bronson's left over from last year. We were able to find that out too. Because we tried to get a hold of those, but they already had them. Archer already had them.
So maybe there's a way for us to poll the people who come to see this show to determine if this may be something we wanna do going forward as opposed to the fireworks.
If we can ask them if they exit,
Yeah.
you know, whether they liked it or not, or ask them in the newspaper, you know, whether they prefer.
You'll hear about it.
Oh, yeah, we'll hear it.
I'm sure it'll be on Facebook, there'll be comments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yay or nay, yeah.
US is doing it on third.
Last that I heard, President's changed.
Right.
I'd say do it.
I do too. I say do it.
Whose band is playing? Do you know who the band is?
South Down Band.
Okay,
Yes, and they're bringing the sound system as well.
yeah.
It says here there is a secret fireworks.
Say again?
There is a secret.
There is on the fourth? Okay, thank you for checking that.
Well, the problem with that, this is extraordinary circumstances this year, right now,
Right.
because there's a lot of people, I saw a couple of weeks ago on a report where Phantom Fireworks are having problems getting, fireworks for their stores, and you know how big Phantom Fireworks are, and they're having problems getting, so, there's more to it than China not being able to ship the fireworks over here, which I will not get into at this time.
Thank you.
Since we're about the only ones that would have anything out here, and it is extraordinary circumstances, I think for the year, for the one time for this year, and then we can go back, hopefully, maybe next year to a normal fireworks routine or whatnot. For the people and whatnot, since we didn't have anything at all last year,
Right.
I'd say knock yourself out and let's go for it.
I agree.
And if you wanna see the show, go to the show.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there'll be vendors out there, food vendors, and there'll be stuff out there, because I know people come out there and they throw blankets out there and
They do.
they stay. I think it'll bring more people in. I'm hoping, if we advertise it correctly, unique.
We can advertise it now.
Yeah.
So I'm done.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the, LaserNet contract.
Perfect.
And I second.
Okay, have a motion and have a second. Is there any other discussion from anyone? All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, go home. We are adjourned at 6:22. Thank you for coming.
Good work, you guys.